the year. Anyway, Three Billboards. When I saw it, it was definitely good acting. Definitely. Like, that stands out. And it's an engaging movie. And I kind of felt like afterwards, like, I didn't get it. Like, I was kind of, what was this movie about? You know, because it was good. It was good acting. And, spoiler alert, in the movie, there's a mother that loses her daughter, which was raped and murdered in a small town again. Woody Harrelson was in it, which I didn't know he was in it, and which was really cool because I like Woody Harrelson a lot. And Woody Harrelson is actually the sheriff in this small town, and it's a little bigger than Wind River town, but it's somewhere in Billings, Missouri, I think it takes place. But the acting was really good. So besides like really good acting, and you know, this story about, you know, the mother's trying to figure out who murdered her daughter because it's an unsolved murder. Like, I was like, what? Like, I don't get it. Like, that's how I felt. Then I asked my brother, who put me onto the movie and told me it was good. I asked him, what was this shit? Like, what you think of it? And he, without skipping a beat, was like, oh, it's about grieving. And I was like, And it completely was. And he put me on to, you know, it's like the mother dealing with grieving and how she, you know, she was grieving the loss of her daughter by like acting out, being very rebellious, that, as you guys will see in the movie when you watch it, and doing unorthodox things and anything and everything to try to figure out who the hell murdered her daughter. The father of the daughter, which was an abusive father, acting out in his like midlife crisis type of way with having you know, young 20-something or 19-year-old girlfriend and a sports car. The brother dealing with the grieving in his awkward teenage way of not wanting to speak about anything. And the Woody Harrelson's character, who had cancer in the movie, dealing with the grief of that and his own mortality. And then, spoiler alert, Woody Harrelson, very surprisingly, shoots his fucking brains out, which you don't see coming at all. Unless you hear this before watching the movie, then I kind of did fuck that up for you. My apologies. But then you see the grief of his family dealing, you know, with his loss. And everybody's just grieving like different shit like throughout the whole thing. And it's like different stages, or not stages, but different ways that people grieve. And like that was like the core essence of the movie. And like after he told me that, I was like, holy shit, yeah, I can't believe like that completely went over my head. And I know art is you know, movies, books, music, whatever. It's very subjective, and different people get different things from it, but that's definitely like, once he like gave me that perspective, like I definitely saw it that way. And I was like, you know, surprised that I didn't catch that. And it was kind of like a line from Jay-Z's 444 album where he's speaking about The Godfather and how a man can't provide the way he's supposed to for his family when he's out fucking around in the streets and putting other things before family. And like that is a definite takeaway from the Godfather movies. But like Jay-Z said in that line, he was like that his consciousness at the time when watching Godfather was Michael's consciousness of, you know, rising to power and doing what you got to do in business. And meanwhile, his family is falling apart, but his consciousness, like, he missed that whole other side of it, that whole angle of it. And like me missing the whole grief angle of the movie kind of reminded me of that line, which I thought was pretty interesting and kind of brought things full circle. But it was definitely an interesting watch. 3 Billboards is the name of that movie, and I recommend it to you fine folks.